House will come to order. Members, proceed to your seats. Will the members please rise for the invocation delivered by Pastor Tom Troth, Hillcrest Baptist Church of Frankfort, Kentucky. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we come to you conscious of our own shortcomings, but with confidence in knowing that if we put our trust in you, all will be well. Help us not to tolerate anything in our lives that would weaken us spiritually. Teach us that this commonwealth is no better than its citizens and no stronger than those who represent its interests. May we see ourselves as you see us. Forgive us when we fail you, and in our weaknesses give us your strength through the power of the Spirit. With your blessing upon us, let us not fear to make decisions nor hesitate to act. So use us, guide us, and act through us. We ask all this in the name of Jesus and for his sake. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Tom. Clerk will sound the chimes. Members indicate your presence. Clerk will take the roll. There being 94 members indicating their presence, a quorum is declared and the House is ready to proceed. Next order of business, the excuse of absent members. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the absent members be excused in accordance with the House rules.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules for the purpose of allowing members to co-sponsor bills and resolutions or to submit vote modifications and have filed the proper papers with the clerk to do so.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order of business, the approval of the journal. Lady from Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the journal from Friday, March 20th, 26 be approved.
Without objection, the journal from Friday, March 20th, 2026 is approved. Next order of business is second reading of bills. There being no need. Next order of business, report of committees. Please report.
The Local Government Committee has met and reports Senate Bill 27 should pass with House Committee Substitute 1, an act relating to cremation of dead bodies. Senate Bill 133 should pass, an act relating to the fiscal reporting of local entities. Senate Bill 149 should pass, an act relating to the Office of County Treasurer. Senate Bill 192 should pass, an act relating to municipal financial reporting. Senate Bill 312 should pass, an act relating to court-ordered transports. Senate Joint Resolution 62 should pass. A joint resolution directing the Division of Water to provide recommendations and clear guidance on how local governments can more easily access jurisdictional streams and waterways for cleanup after a flood. Senate Joint Resolution 75 should pass. A joint resolution directing the Public Service Commission to explore measures that would address affordability and the provision of essential utility services and declaring an emergency. The Post-Secondary Education Committee has met and reports Senate Concurrent Resolution 66 should pass. A concurrent resolution urging the University of Kentucky and the University of Louisville to explore opportunities to participate in federal nuclear-related programs and to expand their curricula to offer courses and degree paths to train the workforce that will construct and operate the next generation of nuclear energy facilities. Senate Joint Resolution 116 should pass with House Committee Substitute 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment. A joint resolution directing the University of Kentucky, the University of Louisville, and Eastern Kentucky University to coordinate a search for actionable solutions to physician shortages and to explore and expand healthcare opportunities in medically underserved areas in collaboration with community, state agency, professional associations, and other stakeholders, making an appropriation, therefore, and declaring an emergency. The Transportation Committee has met and reports Senate Bill 30 should pass, an act relating to the Motor Vehicle Commission. Senate Bill 94 should pass, an act relating to motor vehicle dealers. Senate Bill 291 should pass with House Committee Substitute 1, an act relating to recyclers and declaring an emergency. Senate Joint Resolution 139 should pass with House Committee Substitute 1, a joint resolution designating honorary names for various roads and bridges. The Veterans, Military Affairs, and Public Protection Committee has met and reports Senate Bill 77 should pass, an act relating to ibogaine research in the Commonwealth. Senate Bill 98 should pass, an act relating to welding safety. Senate Bill 102 should pass, an act relating to the Kentucky State Police. And Senate Bill 278 should pass, an act relating to the Department of Kentucky State Police.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. All those bills and resolutions receiving favorable committee reports should be considered as having their first reading and are ordered placed upon the calendar. Next order of business, the orders of the day. Lady from Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 73 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 73 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 73, an act relating to tallow-based cosmetic products. Senator Howell.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Christian 9 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Christian 9 for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ask the clerk to report House Committee Sub 1, please.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 73.
Gentleman from Christian.
Thank you. We had a special treat planned on this piece of legislation, and I will try my best to do this in honor of my good friend, the gentleman from McCracken. He had something really special planned for all of us, so I'm going to keep it simple and to the point. Senate Bill 73 will allow tallow-based cosmetics, things that are created by home processors, to be exempt from certain licensing. With the committee sub, we are including pork products that can be used for cosmetic purposes. Also, we are allowing farm-based poultry processors that are exempt from certain USDA requirements to sell processed poultry to consumers at farmers markets. We are also including legislation that will prohibit the seizure of working livestock dogs by law enforcement when they are unrestrained and may not be in accompaniment of their owner, because sometimes those animals do wander when they're working the cattle. With that, Mr. Speaker, I would like to yield to the gentleman from Letcher for a friendly floor amendment.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Letcher.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could you please ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 1 by title only? I think it's got a...
Gentleman from Christian, we need to adopt the committee sub before we hear a floor amendment.
Sorry. Ask for the adoption of House Committee Sub 1, please.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee sub? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Letcher.
Mr. Speaker, could you ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 73.
Gentleman from Letcher.
Mr. Speaker, the committee sub includes a provision that will allow county governments to contract with outside organizations to provide stray horse removal services. This amendment clarifies that those who are contracted must be bona fide nonprofit organizations, and that they may also provide veterinary care and population control. I move adoption of House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Christian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I would like to add, the gentleman from McCracken added the pork-based products because he has said in the past everything is better with pork included. So with that being said, I will move passage of Senate Bill 73 as amended by House Committee Sub 1 and the House Floor Amendment.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 73 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 92 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 73 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1 is passed. Gentleman from Christian.
Mr. Speaker, ask the clerk to report House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to Senate Bill 73.
Gentleman from Christian.
Move adoption.
Without objection, so ordered.
Move
Gentleman from
clincher.
Christian. Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 155 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 155 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 155, an act relating to animal health emergencies. Senator Carpenter.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Madison 81 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Madison for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Mr. Speaker, would the clerk please report House Committee Sub 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 155.
Lady from Madison.
This simply adds an emergency clause, and I move for adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Lady from Madison.
Mr. Speaker, this body greatly appreciates our agricultural community. This bill would empower the Commissioner of Agriculture in consultation with the state veterinarian to declare and manage situations affecting livestock, poultry, or other domesticated animals. Emergency situations include the outbreak of communicable diseases, severe weather events that endanger animal welfare by limiting access to feed or water, or other situations in which the potential loss of life to domesticated animals is imminent. In the past 2 years, at least 2 major winter weather events have placed livestock in serious danger of starvation or dehydration. This bill's authorization to temporarily suspend burdensome procurement and contracting rules will also help ensure timely delivery of life-saving supplies to animals in need during an emergency. The governor retains authority to issue orders modifying orders issued by the Commissioner of Agriculture. I move for passage as amended by House Committee Sub 1.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 155 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 94 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 155 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 is passed. Lady from Madison.
Could the clerk please report House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to Senate Bill 155.
Lady from Madison.
Move for passage of Senate Bill 155 as amended by House Committee Sub 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment.
Motion
Move
is
adoption.
Motion is the adoption of House Committee Amendment 1. Took us a while to get there.
I know, I was on a roll.
All in favor signify by voting aye. All opposed, nay. House Committee Amendment 1 is adopted. Lady from Madison.
Okay, now, I would move for Senate passage of Senate Bill 150. No, the clincher.
It is clinched. Lady from Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We'll try this again. Mr. Speaker, I move that House Bill 732 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 732 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time, title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 732, an act relating to worker benefits. Representative Gordon.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield again to the lady from Madison 81 for explanation of a bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Madison for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Mr. Speaker, more than 330,000 Kentuckians work as freelancers, contractors, or self-employed professionals, contributing over $18 billion annually to our state's economy. These workers value the flexibility and independence of contract work, but many lack access to benefits like health coverage, retirement savings, or paid leave. Current law creates a barrier. House Bill 732 addresses this by allowing portable benefit accounts, which are worker-owned accounts that follow the worker from job to job. Companies can voluntarily contribute, and workers can use the funds for things like health expenses, retirement savings, or paid time off. The bill creates no mandates and does not change existing employer obligations. It simply adds regulatory certainty. States like Utah, Tennessee, and Alabama have already adopted similar policies. House Bill 732 gives Kentucky the opportunity to support independent workers, provide clarity for business, and modernize our laws to reflect today's workforce. And I move for passage.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 732. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette 75 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on the measure?
Yes, ma'am.
This bill permits employers to voluntarily contribute money for benefits like health insurance to newly defined self-employed workers, while not allowing those contributions to be considered in determining whether or not those people are employees or self-employed 1099 contractors. What we're doing is creating a new tier in state law that allows people to look in some ways like employees, but not experience the benefits and other rights that come from being employees. When we shift these individuals to a new second class of employment, this saves corporations money and liability while leaving workers underpaid and at greater risk. Federal law is very clear about the difference between what constitutes a contractor versus an employee. There is no gray area. This creates a huge gray area, this bill, and that can have problems for workers across the state. In fact, I would go so far as to argue that this bill incentivizes employers to misclassify their workers, undermining job quality for Kentuckians. It supports companies that profit off misclassification and helps them attract workers in a tight labor market despite downgraded job quality that comes from misclassification. It's true that in a gig economy, the nature and shape of work and the rules around it are changing. But we don't need to undermine our workers in order to support a gig economy. That's why I'm proposing two amendments, House Floor Amendment 3 and House Floor Amendment 4. House Floor Amendment 3 limits the bill to marketplace contractors who earn at or below 80% of the state median income. These are app-based workers like those who work for DoorDash, Uber, or those types of programs. This would prevent the creation of a new employment category called self-employed worker, because a self-employed worker isn't really a thing, and we shouldn't try and make it one. It would muddle state misclassification enforcement, which is bad for working people. So, Mr. Speaker, I move for adoption of House Floor Amendment 3, and I request a roll call vote.
Roll call.
We need to report that first, please.
Would the clerk please report?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 3 to House Bill 732.
Motion of the lady from Fayette is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 3. Roll call vote being called for by two or more members. Lady from Madison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The sponsor considers this amendment unfriendly. It actually would create a more narrow scope of benefits, which does create misclassification and actually takes us out of alignment from federal law.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 3. Is there any further discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. Being 24 members voting aye, 43 members voting nay, House Floor Amendment 3 fails. Lady from Fayette.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do want to thank the 24 members who took a pro-worker stance there, because House Floor Amendment 3 is good for workers. Mr. Speaker, I also have today House Floor Amendment 4. Would you please have the clerk report House Amendment 4?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 4 to House Bill 732.
Lady from Fayette.
Thank you. House Floor Amendment 4 does what we've done with a lot of different bills and amendments this session. It's going to be a data collecting amendment. House Floor Amendment 4 ensures that we're tracking how many companies are offering these portable benefit plans, who they're offering them to, and how much those plans amount to. This change would prevent employers from gaming the system and give us, the state, the ability to track its usage. When we're going forward with a proposal like this, data is everything. So I propose that we adopt House Floor Amendment 4, and I request a roll call vote.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 4. Roll call vote being called for by two or more members. Lady from Madison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment would also be unfriendly. It does violate the First Amendment by requiring compelled speech by forced disclosure, and it would also require a fiscal note.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 4. Is there any further discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. Being 22 members voting aye, 42 members voting nay, House Floor Amendment 4 fails. Lady from Fayette.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill before us is a dangerous one, and lest we think that we're only codifying what's already happening, the problem is that what's happening now in misclassification not only is wrong, but it's wrong for Kentuckians. So we should not pass this bill that allows Kentucky businesses to game the system by creating an avenue by which they can now do that lawfully. What we need to do is work to ensure that corporations are properly classifying their employees, that their employees, the workers of Kentucky, get all of the benefits to which employees are owed. This is not a time for us to be weak on employment. It's not a time for us to be weak on protecting workers. And that's exactly what HB 732 does. Thank you.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 732. Is there any further discussion? Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a question.
She will yield to a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Lady, earlier you said that the sponsors said that this was an unfriendly amendment. Besides you, who else has brought forth this piece of legislation?
Lady from Madison.
This bill has been passed in 5 states, and it's currently being considered in 10 states.
Lady from Jefferson.
One question. So did someone bring it to you to pass or to sponsor?
Lady from Madison.
It's not relevant.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In these short few months, I've had literally tens or hundreds of union workers and workers come to see me about employment in Kentucky. And as we've seen, our employment rate is hovering between 4% and 5%, so it's going up. And I'm afraid what this will do is hurt our working men and women in Kentucky by allowing employers to game the system. We want to be able to give our workers a fair wage with overtime, with hopefully a better minimum wage than they're making now, but with sick time and with benefits, vacation time, to make work attractive in this state. And I'm afraid that this bill does not do that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Boone 66 for discussion of the matter.
Speak in favor of the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I truly have no idea how ensuring independent contractors have the ability to access health insurance, unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, and other benefits. I have no idea how that is dangerous for workers. I have no idea how that is gaming the system. I looked at federal and state law to discern the difference between an independent contractor and a salaried employee, and that is a fact that I have been on both. I looked at the 6-factor test, the permanency of the relationship between the parties, the degree of skill required for the rendering of the services, the worker's investment in equipment or materials for the task, the worker's opportunity for profit or loss depending on his skill, the degree of the alleged employer's right to control the manner in which the work is performed, and whether the service rendered is an integral part of the alleged employee's business. None of those 6 factors, and that is Kentucky and federal law, discerns whether the benefits available to the worker makes the difference between an employee and an independent contractor. None of them do. This is about ensuring that workers, no matter what their category is, no matter how they are working, no matter what their contract is, they are still available to receive these benefits. This is a pro-worker bill, Mr. Speaker, and I would urge this body to vote yes. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette 93 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the sponsor yield to a question?
She will yield.
Thank you. With this bill, if I'm understanding correctly, it will leave our workers in 1 foot in one world, 1 foot in another. Does this make them vulnerable or make them fall out from under the umbrella of protections like unemployment insurance or workers' compensation if they're misclassified or classified as independent contractors?
Lady from Madison.
To the contrary, this gives them access to that. We have workers that are, I would say, doing this same work right now with the possibility of no benefits, so this gives them access.
Lady from Fayette.
Thank you. And just to follow up, may I ask another question?
She will yield.
Thank you. I think I did not ask my question well, lady from Madison. I guess the question is, who would be responsible for paying unemployment insurance or workers' compensation should these individuals who have the ability to get benefits as independent contractors and also cannot be considered employees but are still doing work for a company that has hired them as independent contractors rather than full-time employees? I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my head.
Lady from Madison.
They would be able to pursue such benefits outside of the state through private contracts.
Lady from Fayette.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It sounds like they may not qualify. It seems like workers may not qualify for state-based benefits if they're having to go out of state in order to get coverage for the things that normal employees would have access to, like unemployment insurance or workers' compensation. As a member of a union, I do not see any way in which this bill benefits workers in Kentucky. As we continue bringing in more and more businesses and new industries, we want to be able to provide them with the strongest workforce possible, and this bill will actually undermine those efforts. I strongly encourage my colleagues to vote no on this bill.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Breckenridge for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on the bill?
Yes, sir.
I just want to make a couple comments. One thing is that my constituents that are self-employed are competent enough to know whether or not they are being taken advantage of. They have asked for this bill. Come to rural Kentucky, to where the largest employer is the school system, and 70% of the people are driving outside of the county to be able to find work. This is a pro-business policy. That is exactly what it does. Self-employed people are the backbone of rural Kentucky, and they deserve the opportunity to be able to grow and to be able to have these types of benefits. I support it. Thank you.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 732. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Means 63 members voting aye, 24 members voting nay. House Bill 732 is passed. Lady from Madison.
Who's the clincher?
Without objection. So ordered. House stand at ease. House come to order. Lady from Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that Senate Bill 65 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 60 recognizes the gentleman from Laurel 90 for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the annual deficiency bill that we do every year. As a co-chair of Administrative Regulations Review, we go through every regulation that gets filed monthly, so long after we're out of here, we're still coming up here and meeting. We've got the lady from Madison 81, the gentleman from McCracken 3, and the lady from Jefferson 41. It is a bipartisan committee, and we review hundreds of regulations throughout the year, and of those, we only find some deficiencies between them, and we do have robust conversations. But what this bill does is, for the regulations we did find deficient, it voids all regulations, and then also prohibits the agency from filing the same or similar language for 1 year. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 73 members voting aye, 19 members voting nay, Senate Bill 65 is passed. Gentleman from Laurel.
Move clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Bill 583 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 583 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 583, an act relating to the school-based Medicaid program. Representative Riley.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Barron 23 for the explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Barron for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 583 deals with school-based Medicaid services. Medicaid and K-CHIP cover approximately half of Kentucky students. In 2019, under the Bevin administration, a rule was established that gave schools the opportunity to bill Medicaid for any medically necessary services students need, not only for those with a 504 plan or individual education program, more commonly known as an IEP. That change opened up a meaningful way to support overall student health, including mental health. HB 583 would ensure school officials offering health service bring in needed federal funding and remove certain barriers to reimbursement. What this bill does is, if a school district elects to provide health care services through a school health professional, the district must bill the school-based Medicaid program for medically necessary services provided to Medicaid enrolled students when the district has parental consent. Now, that is federal Medicaid, not state Medicaid. This would apply to any this does not apply to any school who wishes to partner with their local health department, federally qualified health center, or other allowable health entity to provide school-based health services, because they already do that. And then it establishes a third-party vendor for schools that have not billed in the past, and establishes rules for that. Also, one thing I'd like to present, House Bill Floor Amendment 1, if we could report, the clerk could report House Floor Amendment 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 583.
Gentleman from Barron.
So what House Floor Amendment 1 does is, basically, the Kentucky Dental Association came to us. In the original bill, it mentioned that school nurses could provide dental services under training that they would receive from the Department of Public Health. What the dental group wanted to do is to change that terminology to oral health instead of dental services, and establish what the scope of practice that school nurses could use. There was some misinformation about that. So we wanted to make sure that we tightened that up and made that clear. So if we could move for adoption of House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Barron.
Mr. Speaker, if there are no questions, I would move for the adoption of House Bill 583 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 583 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 86 members voting aye, no members voting nay, House Bill 583, as amended by House Floor Amendment 1, is passed. Gentleman from Barron.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 158 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 158 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 158, an act relating to vehicle financial protection products. Senator Howell.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Jessamine 39 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jessamine for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you please have the clerk call House Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 158.
Gentleman from Jessamine.
I move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Jessamine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 158 is an insurance bill that deals with what's called gap insurance and gap waivers and protection plans for cars. This particular bill defines these products, clarifies that they are not insurance. They establish consumer protections such as disclosures, contract rights, cancellation periods, and refund rights, while also imposing financial responsibility requirements and grants enforcement to the Attorney General under the Consumer Protection Act. Gap insurance is something that is becoming very popular, especially as car values increase. If a car is totaled and the insurance does not completely pay for a fix, gap insurance will complete that gap. The other portion of this particular bill relates to credit property insurance. It's a product that protects personal property used to secure a loan in the event of theft, accidents, or natural disasters. Kentucky's licensed consumer loan companies have been offering this particular product for more than 20 years. And while these policies are filed and approved by the Department of Insurance, there's currently no statutory authority in Kentucky law. And Senate Bill 158 creates the regulatory structure for these credit property insurance and codifies the practices that are already going on today and have been for decades. So, Mr. Speaker, if there are no questions, I move passage of Senate Bill 158 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 158 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 92 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 158 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 is passed. Gentleman from Jessamine.
Would you please have the clerk call House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to Senate Bill 158.
Gentleman from Jessamine.
I move adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Jessamine.
I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 69 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 69 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 69, an act relating to the Autism Spectrum Disorder Trust Fund and declaring an emergency. Senator Rocky Adams.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Kenton 65 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Kenton 65 for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Every one of us here today has either been directly affected or knows someone who has been directly affected by an autism spectrum disorder. There is no denying that the need for additional services, supports, and research is necessary to better identify, prevent, and serve individuals and families who are affected by autism. As many of you are aware, the General Assembly receives multiple funding requests from around the state each session to support autism services. Senate Bill 69 acknowledges each one of these very worthy requests by establishing an Autism Spectrum Disorder Trust Fund, which is modeled after our Pediatric Cancer Trust Fund and provides an opportunity for individuals to contribute toward autism services, supports, and research. Mr. Speaker, could you please have the clerk report House Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 69.
Lady from Kenton.
House Committee Substitute 1 simply removed Section 1 of this bill, which allowed individuals to contribute directly on their tax refunds to the trust fund through their Kentucky Individual Income Tax Form. I would move passage of House Committee Substitute 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Lady from Kenton.
Mr. Speaker, I move passage of Senate Bill 69 with House Committee Substitute 1.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 69 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 93 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 69 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 is passed. Lady from Kenton.
Move to clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Bill 335 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion is made and seconded that House Bill 335 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 335, an act relating to choking prevention in schools. Representative Massaroni.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Nelson 50 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Nelson for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Mr. Speaker, Landon McCubbins was an 8-year-old boy sitting in his classroom in my district when tragedy struck. Even with first responders in the building at the time, his life could not be saved. We can't change that day, but we can be better prepared. This bill allows schools to have anti-choking devices like LifeVac when other protocols fail. Just last week, the FDA has approved these devices to be used as secondary options when other protocols fail. Mr. Speaker, I move for passage of House Bill 335.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 335. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Campbell, 67, for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on this bill, please?
Yes, sir.
Look, I really appreciate the intention, the background. The lady from Nelson, you've worked on this for a while. I just want to make sure we are understanding the implications of this bill as written. I mean, none of us want to take anything away that could potentially help a child who's choking in need. But I also think as a body, we do not want to be flooded with a bunch of knockoff Chinese-made face plungers. Clerk, can you please report, or Mr. Speaker, could you have the clerk report House Floor Amendment 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 335.
Gentleman from Campbell.
So House Floor Amendment 1 makes two changes to this bill. First, it changes registered as a Class 2 medical device and changes that to say authorized for marketing and distribution by the FDA. I think it's very important to understand that registering as a Class 2 medical device doesn't mean anything. It means a company is registered on an FDA site and paid a fee. It does not mean the FDA has reviewed it. It does not mean the FDA has approved it. The second change is it adds according to its labeled instructions for use when we're talking about immunity for somebody using these devices. Again, as part of the FDA approval process and review process for medical devices, one of the things the FDA looks at is the instructions for use. Just a little background. So, as I'm talking, you can Google LifeVac and FDA. So, as the lady from Nelson indicated, it is indeed true. LifeVac received FDA approval for their anti-choking device a couple weeks ago. Last year, and I spoke out against this bill last year that device had not been approved. In fact, last year the FDA issued a warning letter to that manufacturer that they were trying to market their product illegally. Like I said, in March of this year, it has been approved. The FDA has approved it with a number of post-marketing requirements for research and reporting back to the FDA so that we know exactly how this device would work in the real world. This is the process for reviewing medical devices. This is how it is supposed to work. So I do laud LifeVac for finally coming into compliance with this. But without these changes that I'm proposing, we are allowing any manufacturer to simply register a device on the FDA website and sell it as an anti-choking device. That is not, I do not believe that is the intention of the lady from Nelson or of this body. So with that, I do ask for, or I move for passage of House Floor Amendment 1 and ask for a roll call vote, please.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Lady from Nelson.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, like I said, the device was approved for a secondary device by the FDA. That is the intent of my bill, is to use this device. I appreciate the gentleman, but LifeVac has been proven. We've had over 3 cases over this year in Kentucky of children being saved with this device, so I consider this an unfriendly amendment. Thank you.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any further discussion? Roll call having been called for by 2 or more members. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. Being 25 members voting aye, 36 members voting nay, House Floor Amendment 1 fails. Gentleman from Campbell, you still have the floor.
Nothing further, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 32 for discussion of the matter.
Yes, may I speak on the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
So last year when we heard this bill, I got a phone call from a Mr. Heimlich. And he was actually the son of Henry Heimlich, who created the Heimlich maneuver. And he discussed with me concerns about the anti-choking devices. And so in honor of the perspective of Mr. Heimlich and his family's legacy, I'm going to vote no.
Question for the body is passage of House Bill 335. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 78 members voting aye, 15 members voting nay, House Bill 335 is passed. Lady from Nelson.
Mr. Speaker, I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, we have a visitor from the Senate. So the clerk of the Senate.
Chair recognizes the clerk of the Senate. Good afternoon, Madam Clerk.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Senate is returning Senate Bill 4 and requests that this honorable body recede from the amendment. Mr. Speaker, the Senate has passed House Bills 189 and 657 and is returning same to this honorable body. And the Senate has passed House Bill 58 with letter and respectfully request concurrence of this honorable body.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir.
House will stand at ease. House come to order. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, that concludes the orders of the day.
Next order of business, motions, petitions, communications, and announcements. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 22 be taken from the orders of the day and recommitted to the Committee on Appropriations and Revenue.
Without objection, so ordered.
Mr. Speaker.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 195 be taken from the Committee on Judiciary, given a first reading, and returned to the Committee on Judiciary.
Without objection, so ordered. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 195, Senator Richardson, an act relating to civil cause of action.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, that is all I have at this time.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lincoln. For what purpose, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To call a citation.
Yes, sir.
I would ask the clerk to report House Citation 84.
Clerk, please report.
Citation 84, Representative Meade. Citation of appreciation. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors Dr. Kevin Stoll.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Move adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair recognizes the lady from Franklin. For what purpose, ma'am?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to act on a legislative citation.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please have the clerk report citation number 82 by title only?
Clerk, please report.
Citation 82, Representative Hancock and Representative Fleming. Citation of celebration. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors the Kentucky Association for Environmental Education.
Lady from Franklin.
Colleagues, today I rise to recognize an organization that has shaped generations of Kentuckians, the Kentucky Association for Environmental Education, as it celebrates its 50th anniversary. Since 1976, KAEE has brought together educators, community leaders, and partners across our Commonwealth to do something incredibly important: connect people, especially our students, to the world around them. From classrooms to our parks, forests, farms, and waterways, their work has helped build not just knowledge, but stewardship. And that matters because when Kentuckians understand our natural resources, we are better equipped to protect them, use them wisely, and pass them on to our next generation. KAEE has also played a key role in strengthening our workforce, preparing students for careers in agriculture, conservation, energy, and outdoor tourism, industries that are vital to Kentucky's future. For 5 decades, they've done this work with dedication, collaboration, and a clear vision for the environmentally literate Kentucky. Today, we honor their leadership, their legacy, and their continued impact. I move for adoption. Oh, you did? Oh, it's good. I was like, why, what did I miss? The mic, man. Oh, yeah, wait.
Without objection, so ordered. Thank you, Lady from Franklin. Didn't mean to leave you hanging there. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Knox. For what purpose, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask the clerk to report citation 81 by title only.
Clerk, please report.
Citation 81, Representative Smith. Citation of achievement. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors the members and coaches of the Barberville High School cheerleading squad.
Gentleman from Knox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to take this time to let the body know that what we call the little school in Barberville, they have less than 600 students. They achieved going to Florida and winning the national championship in cheerleading. This is a first for the school, and I'm so proud of these girls that a lot of people already know in this chamber what it takes in competition to reach a state level, but this takes it to another level by winning the nationals. So today I'd like for the body to recognize the cheerleading squad as being national champions from Barberville High School. Move for the adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bullet 49, the chair of the Enrollment Committee, for an Enrollment Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Enrollment Committee has met and found the following bills to be in order and ready for your signature. House Bills 189 and 657, and Senate Bill 5, Senate Bill 46.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair's about to sign House Bill 189. Chair's about to sign House Bill 657. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 5. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 46. Chair recognizes the lady from Metcalf. For what purpose, ma'am?
Mr. Speaker, could you ask the clerk to report legislative citation 85, please?
Clerk, please report.
Citation 85, Representative Neighbors. Citation of appreciation. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors the Kentucky State Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program.
Lady from Metcalf.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to present a citation honoring the Kentucky State Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program for its outstanding service to the Commonwealth. This program plays a critical role in protecting some of our most vulnerable citizens, those living in long-term care facilities across Kentucky. Through a network of dedicated staff and volunteers, they serve more than 40,000 residents, ensuring their voices are heard, their rights are protected, and their concerns are addressed with compassion and care. As a former skilled nursing home administrator, I've had the opportunity to work alongside the Ombudsman program firsthand. I've seen the professionalism they bring, the balance they strive for, and the genuine commitment they have to both residents and quality care. Their presence makes facilities better and strengthens trust for families. Their work, investigating concerns, advocating for residents, and improving care truly makes a difference every single day. It is my honor to ask this body to join me in recognizing the Kentucky State Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program for their dedication, compassion, and service to the people of Kentucky. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of Legislative Citation 85.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair recognizes the lady from Shelby. For what purpose, ma'am?
Make an announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
Judiciary Committee will meet in the morning at 10 o'clock in room 149.
Members take note. Any other member seeking recognition of motions, petitions, communications, and announcements? Lady from Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The clerk of the Senate is back to see us.
Chair recognizes the clerk of the Senate. Welcome back, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, I have a letter on House Bill 900.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anticipating it was not a friendly letter, Chair hereby appoints the following members to a conference committee and subsequently free conference committee on House Bill 900. Gentleman from Todd, Chair. Gentleman from Rockcastle, gentleman from Bell, gentleman from McCracken 1, lady from Davis, gentleman from Jefferson 33, gentleman from Lincoln 80, gentleman from Oldham 59, lady from Jefferson 43, lady from Fayette 75, gentleman from Jefferson 42, and lady from Jefferson 32 as an alternate. Any other member seeking recognition of motions, petitions, communications, and announcements? Seeing none, the next order of business, introduction of new resolutions. Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 126, Representative Heverin, a resolution urging the federal government to provide states with increased flexibility to design and test innovative approaches that reduce barriers to employment and promote economic self-sufficiency among individuals and families receiving public assistance.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The next order of business is a meeting of Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House be in recess for a meeting of the Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee at the clerk's desk.
Without objection, the House will stand in recess for a meeting of Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee at the clerk's desk. House come to order. Next order of business, report of Committee on Committees and Rules Committee. Clerk, please report.
The Committee on Committees has met and referred the following bills and resolutions: to Agriculture, Senate Bill 214, to Banking and Insurance, Senate Bills 97 and 189, to Economic Development and Workforce Investment, Senate Bills 136 and 249, to Families and Children, Senate Bill 156 and House Resolution 126, to the Judiciary Committee, Senate Bills 50, 66, and 281, to Local Government, Senate Bill 34, and to State Government, Senate Bill 251. The Rules Committee has met and posted the following bills and resolutions to the regular orders for Wednesday, March 25, 2026. Senate Bills 18, 19, 56, 122, 153, 198, 226, and 343. Also, the Rules Committee has recommitted to Appropriations and Revenue Senate Bill 8. And in accordance with House Resolution 124, the Speaker of the House of Representatives has appointed the following 5 members to prosecute the impeachment of Julie Muth Goodman. Representative Blanton, Chairman. Also, Representative Decker, Representative Doan, Representative Nemes, and Representative Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The next order of business, introduction of floor amendments. Please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 9, Representative Holloway. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 29, Representative Raymer. House Floor Amendment 2, the title amendment to Senate Bill 29, Representative Raymer. House Floor Amendment 5 to Senate Bill 101, Representative Nemes. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 102, Representative Blanton. House Floor Amendment 2, the title amendment to Senate Bill 102, Representative Blanton. House Floor Amendment 3 to Senate Bill 104, Representative Moore. House Floor Amendment 4 to Senate Bill 104, Representative Moore. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 122, Representative Nemes. House Floor Amendment 2, the title amendment to Senate Bill 122, Representative Nemes. House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 124, Representative Nemes. House Floor Amendment 3, the title amendment to Senate Bill 124, Representative Nemes. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 219, Representative Lockett. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Joint Resolution 139, Representative Lehman. And House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 181, Representative Grossell.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next order of business is adjournment. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House stand adjourned until 2 p.m. Wednesday, March 25th, the year of our Lord, 2026.
Without objection, the House shall stand adjourned until 2 p.m. Wednesday, March 25th, the year of our Lord, 2026.